Danny here, and today I'm going to talk you through my winter turbo training setup, the hand cycle. Now, the reason I'm making this video is that when I got into this, there really weren't that many resources or videos or really anything out there that showed you how to do this, and it's quite a tricky thing to do. So if I can help one other person figure out a way to do this indoors, then job done as far as I'm concerned. So without further ado, I'll talk through my setup. So here it is in all its glory. It's a bit of a tight space and a bit messy, but it definitely gets the job done. So the key ingredients you need, obviously a hand cycle. I've got a Handbike R2020 here, but you could really use anything with gears. So Force RX, something more upright, doesn't matter, just something that has cranks on that you can turn the pedals. There are a variety of trainers that you can use. The best, in my opinion, or kind of the gold standard for actually doing meaningful training, is a turbo trainer. So something that has a cassette, a flywheel, and crucially a power meter. So that will allow you to base all of your exercises around ideally a functional threshold power and train to power to get the best gains out of it. But I appreciate that's not everyone's cup of tea, so you can also use a direct mount trainer, something a little bit similar to what I've got in the corner here. So with a kind of cylinder on it where you mount your front wheel on that, and that provides resistance. But here, what I've got is an Elite Diretto. Let me maybe show you a bit closer here. This is an old model from several years ago now that I bought second-hand off some guy in a shop for about 400 quid. Turbo trainers can be quite expensive, but I had this left over from when I was riding a road bike before my accident, so I put it to good use. The other thing to mention here is I've got a squat rack that was made by a friend of mine, Ewan, to suspend the trainer upside down. And this is the crucial thing. If you want to train with a hand cycle, you need to, with a turbo trainer, you need to hang it upside down somehow. Now, I've seen people do this in a variety of ways. Some people use a table, some people use, well, anything they can really. There are specific rigs made for this. I know Draft wheelchairs do one, which works with the Wahoo kicker, but I think only with a Wahoo kicker. So often the best way is just to find your own way. But yeah, this is a squat rack. You can see here it's suspended by two screws, one on this side and one on the other side there. And it's actually more stable than you might think. So it doesn't rock too much. And at the back I've got two wheel holders to stop the bike rocking back and forth. And then I should mention briefly that the way it actually connects is via a quick release. Now, if you're familiar with bikes at all, then quick releases should be very familiar to you as well, but if you're not, well, I've got a spare one here. This is a quick release and it just goes through the axle essentially, and it screws on either side, and then you clamp this shut to hold it in place. So the front wheel of the hand cycle is obviously removed. This is mounted onto the trainer directly, and then the quick release is through and fastened and clamped shut. I've kept the foot pieces on just because I think it's a bit more comfortable and reduces the risk of pressure sores in your heels if you leave them dangling. And on this setup, I've got space either side for my legs, which is nice. So, hand cycle, turbo trainer and mount, and then the final thing you need is a computer or tablet, so something to load up your whatever software you use. Here I'm using Zwift, which, if you're not familiar with, is kind of like an online cycling workout piece of software where you have an avatar. As you can see here, I've got a hand cycle avatar because Zwift finally pulled their fingers out and made it a little bit more accessible. Nice one, Zwift. And I've got a workout loaded up here on the left, so as I pedal, my avatar will move and I can see my watts in real time. I don't think I'll be able to achieve anything with one hand whilst in my wheelchair, but that's the idea, that when you pedal, your avatar will pedal as well and move, but yeah, I'm not able to achieve anything. It's just moaning at me now. So there you have it, that's the setup. Oh, the crucial thing to mention for an indoor setup is you need a fan. That will definitely come in handy. And I've got a Camelback, which usually lives in the rear of the hand cycle, but for the purpose of convenience, I've just got it outside, and that usually has some form of electrolyte mix or energy drink in for when I'm actually doing the workouts. Got a variety of gloves because it's bloody cold in Inverness, and training outside in the winter, even indoors, is very, very cold. And lurking under their emergency catheter when all else goes wrong. So there you have it. So I hope you found that helpful. I know I didn't go through absolutely everything, so if you do have any questions, please pop them down below and I'll do my best to answer. And yeah, happy hand cycling.